may get in trouble for this, but I'm going to say it. The British, for many, many years, were known as terrible, terrible cooks. I think since they joined the European Union and became more international in their cuisine, it's improved. But I must say, in part of my heritage, my cousin owned one of the finest restaurants in London. The only royals who didn't go there were Philip and Elizabeth. The rest of them there were frequent diners. So there was one restaurant in London that was good. And when I listened to this gospel, the very first thing that comes to me, and this is what brings it up, somebody said, the British are such terrible cooks. They're the only people I know who can turn wine into water. Somebody said, don't be so Irish, Barrett. But the whole idea is that we talk about, this is the first miracle Jesus performed in his public life. He's at a wedding, things are going wrong, the wine has run out, and everybody's in a mess. And his mother says to him, do something. And somebody says, well, Jesus is disrespecting his mother when he says, woman, what am I supposed to do? But actually, he's not disrespecting her. What the gospel writer is saying, when he calls her woman, he's referring to her as Eve, because Mary is the new Eve. The Eve who sinned is replaced by the Mary who did not sin. So we're not dissing Mary. And of course, we talk about the great miracle of the wine and the water and things like that. But one person in that gospel that sometimes is overlooked that I was kind of reading about is the servant. When the servants brought the head servant the water turned to wine, he just says, oh, isn't that interesting? And he went to the groom and said, most people serve the best wine first and the lesser wine, but you've saved the best wine for the last. The issue is that he was talking about the product. He didn't get the miracle. And I think sometimes that can be an issue in our lives. We don't always get the miracle. Now, when we think about miracles, we usually think about the big M's, the biggies. Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead, curing the sick, and some of the other stuff. But the other things, I think, sometimes because we get so busy and so distracted in our lives that we don't get the little miracles in life. Those things that bring joy and hope. When we see somebody who has suffered greatly gets better because of the doctors and the nurses and all the hospital workers who minister to that person. That is a miracle, because without help, that person may have died or gotten worse. Sometimes, too, we don't realize the little things in life that make a world of difference. Those men and women who reach out to make sure that people are fed, the hungry are taken care of, the naked are clothed, the people who really live the gospel. Those are the miracle workers, the ones who change the lives of other people. But sometimes we take those things for granted and we don't get it. We don't understand that life is a miracle. Each and every one of us, I'm sure, has held a child, a newborn child. And isn't that a joyful thing? But sometimes we take that for granted, that life is very precious, and to embrace a child and watch over a child and take care of a child is a miracle. Again, we get caught up in the big M's, but we should really concentrate on the little M's and not take life so much for granted. Sure, the servant said, yeah, you served the best wine in the last. He didn't get it. I think one of the things that maybe we should do is maybe pause, take a moment and find out and just realize some of the miracles that are happening in our lives. The little things that take place every day. The fact that we're taken such good care of in our lives. the fact that we have people who watch over us, people who love us. Those are little miracles. Let's not take life for granted. Let's not take people for granted. And then we can be good people and make sure the wine is always good and that we know how to cook properly. That can be a miracle, depending upon who we are. But enjoy it. Enjoy life. Enjoy the miracles that God gives us. And know that God is always there to be with us, to perform the miracle that gives us eternal life.
Thank you for joining us for the celebration of the Mass today. It's a blessing that you're with us. Every broadcast of this liturgy goes out to hundreds of people all over the world. It's been an enormous blessing. If you'd like to support this virtual ministry of OLPH, please go to our website. You can support this ministry by going to Give Central so that we can continue to broadcast the liturgy each and every week. Thank you for your support. Most of all, thank you for joining us today. God bless you. Greetings from OLPH.